Loren!
Hi guys! So it's me, Lauren, and I'm joined once again by my lovely sister, Autumn. And you can't tell by our shirts, we are going to be talking about one of our favorite shows, which is The Walking Dead. I remember just relating so well to the Andrea and Amy's storyline because they were sisters and they were both going through the zombie apocalypse together and they didn't know where their parents were, and then spoiler is that Amy ends up getting bitten and dying and has an older sister that was really painful to watch. We have like sort of a pact. If she got bitten, I would have to put her down, right?
I'm not agreeing to any of that. There's no situation where you can shoot me, Lauren.
Not even if you were gonna kill me, if you were gonna eat my flesh, wouldn't you want me to put you out of your misery?
What? No!
Well, all I know is that if I were bitten, I'd want you to put me down.
Okay, good to know.
You know, they're dealing with the repercussions of what's going on in this new society that they're in, and just talking about humanity and morality and where is that? Where does that fall into the whole zombie apocalypse thing? So we sort of wanted to talk about like what would be our zombie survival plan. So let's imagine zombie apocalypse happens right now. What would we do? If I were at work, I don't know, I think that there'd be just like a lot of people wanting to escape from the hospital and everything and find their family. But at the same time, like, part of me would want to stay in the hospital because we do have food supplies and we do have medical supplies and we have a security office, so there would be some sort of weapons there. I've been to the shooting range a handful of times, and I'm pretty good. I could at least clip somebody.
Okay,
so
good enough.
Yes.
You can be on my team.
That's the thing, is that would we stick together or would we be...
Come on.
Would we be... Well, it's a legitimate question. Would we be liabilities to each other?
I don't think so.
Okay, good. You can be on my team. Because you have loyalty.
I think you need a support system of some kind.
Yes, I think I would go insane without my family.
Right.
I mean,
Just trying to go by yourself and then meet up with strangers? That doesn't seem like the right choice.
And that was the thing, too, is that you see that a lot on Walking Dead, is that people start to form their own little families, but even then, before they let people into their inner group, they have to prove their loyalty and their trust and everything. And I trust my family, of course.
Mm-hmm.
Plus, you have a nurse on your team, and you have engineer and our dad.
Yeah.
So he would be able to, like, configure certain things.
I think they are trying to keep away the crazies with their rules or their 3 questions that they ask every new person they come along on the road. But I don't think they're very aware of the craziness within their group currently.
Yeah. I mean, even like Carl, like growing up as a small child and now he's like preteen, getting to be a teenager and everything, how that has affected his development into an adult is very interesting. Still, the kid will just not stick with his parents and his group. It's like, dude, don't be stupid. Carl!
It's pretty spot on. More obvious choice is the crossbow because they're very reusable, they're easy to find, if they have a big impact.
And they're pretty silent, too.
Yeah. Which
Which is very important because you don't want to draw any attention to yourself. Yeah, I think I'm more of I'd rather have the silent but deadly thing. So definitely not a gun. I don't want to say crossbow because of the fact that I feel like I wouldn't know how to load it. And it takes it takes a lot of energy. I was about to say axe, but that's really messy too.
Whoa. A sword gives you a little distance between you and the zombie, but an axe, it's like you're right up on them.
Yeah, and I don't know. I think
a mace.
You know what? Mace. Horse. That'd be awesome. I think I like the katana. I think the katana's pretty cool. I don't know where I would get a hold of one.
You should get some shurikens too. Shurikens?
I don't
You know shurikens?
What are shurikens?
Ninja stars?
Yes! The only thing that I think would be difficult is running. I run, sort of, but I'm not the fastest runner.
That's probably my biggest fear in any kind of situation like this where it's about endurance and athletic ability.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, which I don't really have much of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can hide!
You're gonna do like face mask.
Oh, yeah.
It's exfoliating too. Would we stick with our house? Is our house fortifiable for a zombie apocalypse, or do you think there's problems with it?
I think there's definite problems with it. I don't think this is a safe place.
So we would definitely get away from here as fast as we could.
Ish.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I think that we have too many big, large windows.
Mm-hmm.
Although it would be comfortable. It would be like, okay, yeah, this is my bed and my stuff. I don't have to... You can't be sentimental in the zombie apocalypse.
Yeah.
And you can't be like, but I have all these books and I have all these movies and oh, my musical instruments. That's the one thing that I'd be just so sad is that I'd have to leave behind some of my musical instruments. And, you know, playing music would be, obviously, I couldn't sing and draw attention. Although Beth seems to want to sing, like, at the drop of a hat.
Don't get me started.
Where would you think would be a good place for us to head to, though?
I think, like you mentioned, your hospital, because I think it's really important to have high ground, to have so many floors that have so many supplies, and a hospital like yours is perfect for that.
The only thing that I would say that would be a danger is because, I mean, we saw this in the first season of Walking Dead, is that Rick heads towards Atlanta because he thinks that's where his family is and everything, and you can just see that town is overrun by zombies. And, you know, Detroit... I mean, it's the home of past, like, riots and everything, so I'm pretty sure it would be if not overrun by zombies, but probably by gangs and, like, people that have already gathered together and everything. And if you guys were to come and try and meet me at the hospital, or if I were to say, let's go to the hospital, would it already be territory for somebody? That they would say, no, you can't come in here because this is ours.
Maybe that should be our plan, though. We should join a gang.
We should start today in the eventuality of the zombie apocalypse.
Perfect.
How big is too big? Because we saw in Walking Dead, whenever they had the whole prison and they also included the people that were from the governor's settlement. I don't even remember what it was called. But... Woodbury, yes. The only positive it seemed to that, other than them, like, solidifying the prison, was that there was more people to be eaten whenever it finally got overrun. So the main group are... I think if you get too big, that's a problem. Because then you start to be like... Start feeling comfortable and you start feeling like, oh, we totally got this. But also, like, I don't think we could just be us four.
Right.
I don't think 4 is enough.
Also, we go to a pretty big church, and my first instinct would be to go there to see we can put together with them. If anybody goes there, I don't know.
If you aren't watching The Walking Dead, I think that you should start watching it. It's a very good show. Probably not for little kids. Well, definitely not for little kids. Anyway, my questions for the week are, how do you think you would fare in the zombie apocalypse? What would be your weapon of choice? I'll see you guys next week. Bye!